The next speaker, who attended Hollywood High School 38 years ago, has enjoyed a long and successful career as an entrepreneurial businessman, a writer of books and online education courses, a management executive working with Hollywood celebrities, a consultant to America's top Fortune 1000 companies, a real estate investor, a hotelier, and a restaurateur. Today, at 54 years young and with no plans to slow down, he is now 5 years into a career as a working professional actor. Here to share with you some uplifting words of congratulations for your graduation from Hollywood High School is your fellow Hollywood High alumnus, Christopher Matthew Spencer.
Hey gang. Hey folks, thank you so much for having me over. I know we're going to bring this down for the Q&A, but I also, because I really wanted to be prepared, I wrote something, and this is what the podium's for. First of all, how is everybody doing today? Good. You came after graduation to speak with me, and I think that's amazing. That's pretty incredible and very special. You do have to be like the best looking graduating class at Hollywood High School ever, right? I mean, give yourself a round of applause for that. So, when I walked the halls of this school back in the 1980s, yes, I am that old, I never imagined that I'd be talking to the class of 2023 in the very same auditorium that I used to sing and act and dance. Well, sort of dance, if you would call it that. And then back then, Madonna was saying, "Papa, don't preach." The Beastie Boys were screaming, "Fight for your right to party." And at that time, Janet Jackson was asking, what have you done for me lately? I never imagined that 29 years later, I would be spending 4 years working for Janet Jackson, which was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. I remember being in math class right here when the Halley's Comet made its closest point passing to the Earth in its second visit to the solar system in the 20th century. And all the cool rich kids had a thing called a Sony Walkman. And they had these big containers of cassettes which contained albums. And back then we actually had to buy albums. And the Soviets launched the Mir space station, and the Oprah Winfrey Show had its debut, if you can believe that. We could walk up to the Mann's Chinese Theater, which is what it was called back then, and watch blockbusters like Top Gun, yeah, the first one, Aliens, we could watch Stand By Me, Rocky IV, and we could even join Ferris Bueller on his day off. And those were all the 86 films when I was here at the school. For those of us who love science fiction, we got to go back to the future with Michael J. Fox, and we get to see Michael J. Fox again. He was talking about being in 2023 back in 1986, which I think was pretty cool. Back then we were all obsessed with rap music. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. And we did break dancing in the hallways. Ice-T, Kool Mo D, Run DMC, which you just heard, were all playing on battery-operated boom boxes, and we carried them around. It was mostly delightful, and people really enjoyed those boom boxes, but someone was always annoyed. Sometimes it was the school staff. I think deep down they really understood, because of course they were high school students once too. Now, back when I was in high school, LL Cool J was just starting his music career, and I never thought in a million years that he'd be uncovering a ludicrous star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in such a fast and furious way. I don't know if you saw that. What was really cool about 2023 is that you're all dressing the 80s. You're all playing 80s music. And you're even rocking faux hawks again, which I'm seeing around schools in town. And that's pretty cool. When I was in high school, I was blissfully unaware of how really big the world was and how many cool things there are to do. And probably the most important thing that I did not understand back then is that I am and I was uniquely me. For many years, I desperately tried to mimic my friends, or I acted like my favorite stars, but it never worked out very well. And I struggled to make friends beyond school. I always felt awkward, and I sometimes was just weird around people. And to ensure clear communication between you and me, this social media generation, I'll be using hashtags. Hashtag I am awkward. We're all wired differently, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. Hashtag be yourself. For many years I went through life's journey without a compass. I really didn't have any idea what I wanted to do. I had so many interests, and I wanted to do so many things. I wanted to do everything. I wanted to be a star. I wanted to be really rich. I wanted to drive a Ferrari Testarossa. That was a popular car back in the 80s. And I wanted a Rolex watch. But in my heart, I always knew I would make a lot of money because money's, it's America. You can make money in America. But in high school, I was broke as a joke, and any amount of money over and above what I had would make me rich in my eyes. So, after my school job was working at the Beverly Center scooping ice cream. You ready for this? $3.36 an hour. It was not much, but it was enough to allow me to save up and pay for an old jalopy of a car. And that was great. It allowed me to get around town, and obviously, having a car was liberating at the time. That job at the Beverly Center was one of the greatest gigs I ever had. I met thousands of cool people. I served ice cream to many of my favorite stars, and I learned some many valuable lessons such as teamwork and hard work. Later, I tried sales. Then I worked in repertory theater. I became a baker, okay? I worked as a management executive for actors and musicians. I took a detour and I worked for eBay as a product evangelist. And I worked at eBay in the golden years of the company when it was just starting out. I owned and operated a large hotel, then a restaurant. I then worked as a consultant to corporate brands and celebrities. And while I loved each and every one of these wonderful adventures, they were all truly amazing. I knew that my future would hold something else. So first of all, life is a team sport, and I achieved all my successes because I collaborated with other people. I sought out experts. I had mentors along the way. Now, I'm 54 years old. Now I'm pursuing acting. And to be completely candid with you, I always wanted to be an actor. That was really in my heart. And I caught the acting bug as early as middle school when I performed in school plays. Life, takes us on twists and turns. Yesterday ended at midnight, and I'm grateful for every day, every moment, every memory of my experiences. But I avoid regrets. I'm not saying I have no regrets, okay? Everybody has regrets. I am saying that I'm grateful for my life. I'm still young in my heart, and I want to do a lot more. So in 2019, at the age of 50, I enrolled in Brian Cutler Actor Studio, and I studied acting. I wanted to start on the path to a full-time acting career, and I knew that training would be required to do so. I never imagined I would become a star. I mean, that's kind of way out there anyway. Only a very small number of actors are stars, and nobody really knows why they become stars. There's no magic beans or formula. I am happy, though, to be working as a character actor in Hollywood movies. I give credit to COVID for giving me the opportunity to jump into the acting career in a big way, because before COVID, auditioning for acting roles meant driving around in traffic, having to have face-to-face meetings, but Zoom changed everything. Right? Now I can audition for any project, anywhere, virtually. I was hired to work in the feature film Alumni, and the first day that I met the director was on the first day of work on the set. Now there's no better time than today, right now, to become an actor. Do you want to become a big star? I mean, is that something you want to do? I don't know how to do that. I don't know how well that's going to work out, honestly. Think about this. Less than 100 actors won the best actor Oscar, right? So that's since 1929. But if you want to become a working actor, somebody who is actually working, there are hundreds of scripted television shows in production and thousands of films made by terrific studios each and every year. There are a plethora of commercials, promos, industrials, ad campaigns casting every single day. If you really want to be successful in acting, or any profession for that matter, Here are my tips based on lots of mistakes that I made along the way. Get toxic people out of your life. Say goodbye to those people who try to fool you, who are not reliable, who don't meet their commitments, okay? Get them out of your life and do so fast. Do it with grace. Do it with diplomacy. But do get them out of your life and say goodbye. Integrity is very important too. It's usually best to say nothing rather than to say something that's not true, okay? A hard-earned lesson that is sometimes I just need to keep my mouth shut, all right? Next, I learned that getting along with a variety of people opens more doors, something I didn't know in high school. While it is completely natural to hang out with people who share your interests and tell you how nicely you dress, okay? You will learn a lot of life's important lessons from the unlikely people. Now, for the longest time, I thought being rich meant fancy cars and expensive watches. Certainly, I had those things. Not always necessary, not very important, honestly. The millionaire next door may very well drive a old Camry, okay? I used to drive a sports car, and now I get around town in a 22-year-old perfectly good sedan that gets me from point A to point B, and I have a lot more money to show for it without a high car payment and pricey insurance. So the next tip, I encourage failure. I do. Skinning your knee is the only way to learn how to not skin your knee. We all have to touch a hot pan to know not to touch the hot pans, okay? Failures are beautiful mistakes, and they're fantastic lessons. We make far fewer of them as we venture out in life because we remember what worked and what did not work. So be sure to enjoy yourself, okay? Enjoy your money, treat yourself to things. But you should also save money for a rainy day. Never live paycheck to paycheck. While I hope that I'm never unemployed or underemployed, I have substantial savings to cover periods of unemployment. In the unlikely event that I'm unemployed or I run into a health issue. And try things. Do what you love. Jump out of bed every day and do the things you love to do. Making money is always important, but chasing money at the expense of your passions will leave you always hungry. The only way that the uncomfortable becomes comfortable is by doing the uncomfortable. So try things. Be persistent. I'm not the most talented actor out there, but I will always win on hard work and persistence. And persistence does not mean being pushy, okay? These should never be confused. Courage and confidence should never be conflated with arrogance. Now, I'm very excited that you allowed me to speak with you today. You know, I'm going to join my other two fellow actors who are here. We have Meg, we have Clay. They're going to come down to a table in the cafeteria and they're going to join me and we'll make ourselves available to answer questions about careers in acting. All three of us are professional actors. And if you have questions about how to get started, things that you need to know getting into our business, we will make ourselves available to you so that we can answer those questions about entertainment careers. Please come and talk with us. We're also going to Q&A here, but we'll have one-on-ones if you want. You can do that in the job fair. Thank you so much for being the best part of Hollywood High School. Give yourselves a big round of applause for that. I commend each and every one of you. Your future journey will be your own. It will be very special. And most importantly, it will be 100% uniquely yours. May the force be with you always. Hollywood High School, class of 2023.